Well, we're going out to the ranch this afternoon. It's Saturday, and got a call from my friend Shaun. Apparently he's got an elk down out here. He got his cow today, and so I took a ride out here to see if I can give him a hand. And he's going to be trying to load it up, or we'll see what we got. We may have to pull it or something, I don't know. So we'll be out here in just a few minutes, and we'll check back in. Okay, we're out on the ranch and trying to get out to where Shaun is. Could be a little bit of a challenge. He is across some ravines and the road goes down there, but it could be washed out. I think he's already gone through here, so I'm trying to get where he is to go help him. So I'm going to show you where I'm going to be going here, and I'll put the camera on that. I just enjoy coming out here, you know, getting out in the outdoors, and it's always good to come help a friend. Really, hunters have to help each other, because when you're hunting by yourself, you just can't. It's really hard. It's a lot of work to try to lift something, or if you get a deer or an elk, that's when the work starts. And trying to get something loaded up, you can quarter it, wrap it in tarps, and try to load it and carry it. But it is a lot of work, and it's so much better to have some buddies that'll come out and help when you got something down. And so people have helped me in the past, and I'm going to get out here and give my friend Shaun a hand. Kind of show what some of the terrain looks like out here. There's the water tank back here I was telling you about. There's a water system that for watering cattle. And we got another ravine to cross. This one I don't know about. This one I'm going to need four-wheel drive for. Looks like I'm in 4. I just got to make sure I can get down it and back up it. All right, I got my binoculars, and gotta see if I can figure out where he's at. Okay, I can see him now. He is way almost at the bottom of that hill up there. I see some cattle, and I see reflections on a truck up there. Okay, I finally made it to him. Found his truck. And I believe he's up there on the hill. There he is. I can see him working on his animal up there with a bunch of cows. Okay, I'm over here at the truck, behind the truck, and got a bunch of rope. And I think this rope is going to be necessary for us to pull this animal out of here. And so I'm going to have to find a spot to cross. We got a big ravine coming up here. I think this is down here. Went down, took a little digger. I'm down, but I'm not out. Make sure I didn't drop my rope. Okay, I'm good. Here's old Shaun. He's hanging out with some cows, some beef cows, and he's got his elk cow down and the tarp. He's got a real look of satisfaction on his face. I do have water in the truck. Congratulations.
On my last one.
I got you filming for my YouTube hunting channel here.
All right, part 2, right?
That's right, part 2. Here's the actual animal. And he's been doing some work on him. On her. Nice looking cow. That'll be some nice meat for this year. And these guys are over here hanging out.
Yeah, they just came up about 15 minutes ago.
Watching what's going on here. So, quite a ways in here, huh? With that road.
Yeah. Yeah, they were right there.
On the other side.
Up at the top of that tree line. Shot down. Shot her. She didn't know where to go. Then she came over here and
you
just
got her.
like.
Well, I'll tell you, that ravine is going to be interesting, but I think if we can get
Well, I got the
her,
winch if we need it.
we can drag her over there. I think we can pull her up the other side. I got quite a bit of rope here.
Okay.
So.
And I got the winch too.
So we'll just see. We'll have to get dragging here, I guess.
I was gonna try to get her in the sled, but she's just too freaking heavy.
Yeah. We probably ought to make
I was gonna take
hook her up on these back legs and just drag her backwards so she doesn't, the head doesn't flop and pull us against us. Okay, well, the problem is going to be getting this elk out of there where it's at. It's boxed in by a couple of big dry arroyos, and they're real deep. They're like 20 feet deep. So I think we're going to have to lower this elk by rope down into the arroyo, and then we'll pull it up the other side. Shaun's got a winch on the front of his truck, and I think that's going to be our best bet. We're going to have to pull it probably about 40 yards, and then we'll be able to lower it down into this arroyo. So that is the plan, and we'll see how it goes. Check back. Okay, so we got the elk loaded up in a nice toboggan and tarp, and we've been dragging him down to where this big ravine is. And so the next thing is we're gonna try to lower it down in the ravine.
Show him the ravine.
And
it's a bit, I mean, it's crazy.
So here's the ravine we gotta go down. It looks like the Grand Canyon. And we got plenty of rope. We're gonna lower old Mr. Elk down there.
Not there.
I think there's a little crossing right here where the elk have come down. If we could tuck it through, we could go down that.
Yeah.
And then I got that other piece of rope we could use to.
Oh yeah.
That's like a ramp right there. Okay, we got him staged and ready to go. And he is at the top of the crevasse here, the ravine. And we got him so we can lower him down into this Grand Canyon. And the only bad thing is if he goes off that way, which the way that's angled has me worried. I think we may want to get the longer rope, and then we can lower. Okay, so the plan didn't go quite as expected. Nonetheless, the elk is partially down the cliff. So, the secret to this is just not having the elk land on top of you, which I had a close call similar to this a few years ago.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, this could be interesting.
Give it a little flip. Okay, we're back down in the ravine. We got the elk loaded up again, back in the sled, and then we're gonna transport it down this narrow ravine. It's nice and flat with gravel on the bottom, and over to where the winch cable is, and then we'll winch it up the side of the cliff when we get there. So here we go. Okay. Okay, Shaun's up on top, and he did a little safety check. He's got his emergency brake on, and I think he's about ready to start winching here in just a sec. And here's Shaun with the cable. In the plastic sled, and we tied a tow strap to the back of the truck, and the idea here is we're going to tow it down the road to where the creek crossing is to get a nice spot to load the elk like a loading dock. So we'll see how it goes. So far things have been going pretty well here, and we're just taking a little break here. I got my pickup open and having something to drink. It's a lot of work getting one of these animals out. And so I'm taking a minute. I still have a cow tag that's good for a few more days. So I'm starting to kind of do some glassing. It's about 3 o'clock, and so it's going to be time to start hunting again here in the evening. And you just never know what you're going to see. And so I'm taking a minute to glass this area, and we're just resting a few seconds, and then we're going to go skin this deer, or skin the elk that we just brought down, and back up at the camp. So anyway, hopefully maybe I'll see something on the way out, and just got to be ready, and got my field glasses, and I got to grab my gun and make sure I'm ready just if we see something as we're going out across this land, because we're pretty far back in the ranch. So you know, part of hunting is just opportunity, and you got to be ready when the opportunity strikes. You'll never know when you're going to run into game out here, and so having your binoculars ready and your gun at the ready, where you can reach it if you need to, is the way to go. All right, so we're going to take a few minutes, and I'm going to glass a little bit, and then we're going to head back up to the camp. That's good. Okay, so we loaded up, got that elk loaded up. My battery ran low, so I had to plug into the charger here. But we got it loaded up real easy, just using that creek crossing as a loading ramp. So that's a great technique. So now I'm heading back. I got to set up camp tonight. I got to get my tent and stuff set up, and then if I get time, I may make another run up the road and see if I see anything at dusk.